2023 has not been the greatest year when it comes to the UK housing market. We've seen the number of buyers dwindle quite considerably due to high interest rates and stock just taking a long time to sell, which has, on the whole, led to a decrease in the asking price as buyers are desperate to sell. Now, over the last couple of days, we've actually heard from the UK's biggest bank and building society on what they predict for 2024, and it makes some interesting reading. Both of them actually predict that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Sam here. Now today we're going to be talking about our predictions for 2024 and the UK housing market, specifically some data that's come out of the UK's biggest bank, Halifax, and biggest building society nationwide. But before we get stuck into that, please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you don't already and click the notification bell, because then you'll be alerted to future videos. And if you wouldn't mind also giving this video a little thumbs up, that would be awesome too. I'm trying to get this channel up to 5,000 subscribers as soon as I possibly can. That's my next big milestone and I need your help to do it. Thanks ever so much in advance for helping me out in growing this channel. Now let's get back to the video. Now, as I've said before, we've heard from Halifax, or the UK's biggest bank, and Nationwide, the UK's biggest building society, on their housing data for 2024. And actually, it makes relatively positive reading. Halifax predicted a 4% decrease in the average price of a UK property over the course of 2024, with Nationwide actually coming in a little bit less, saying it will be single digit, but probably somewhere between 2 and 4%. In fact, when you delve a little bit deeper into Nationwide's report, they say that they believe that it's going to be a broadly flat market next year. Now, this comes amid news that the UK has actually avoided recession, where the Eurozone is looking increasingly likely to go into one in the next couple of months. So it possibly shows a little bit of recovery in the UK economy, which is going to have a positive impact on the housing market, of course, as well. Now, one of the biggest impacts on the cost of a property in the UK is actually the availability of funding. And as we've seen over the last few months, over the course of 2023, interest rates have gone through the roof. This has led to the number of buyers going absolutely down the drain, as fewer buyers can actually afford to buy the properties that they would have been able to do just 12 months earlier. Now, we have had a little bit of a reprieve recently, and obviously at Grand Union Finance, we look at interest rates on a constant basis for our clients, and there has been a marked decrease over the last couple of months in the average cost of a mortgage. When I say marked, it's not massive, we're probably talking about 0.5%, but at least it's going in the right direction. Now, if you go back to the middle of the year, a lot of people were predicting we were going to have a crash in 2024, and that was probably because they were going to see that this escalating cause of increasing interest rates was going to have that massive knock-on effect in the market, and this correction was going to be coming probably somewhere between 9 and 11% down. Now, because we've seen a bit of a tapering off in mortgage rate costs, that I think has had a positive impact on the prediction for the housing market next year. We are obviously still thinking that it's going to go down, but not by the huge margins that we thought previously. Now, I actually think that going into the beginning of next year, we might actually see a little bit of competition between mortgage lenders, which is good for you as a mortgage borrower, because of course, one of the best ways that any mortgage lender can try and get more business is by putting their rates down. History tells us that during an election year, of which 2024 is, that fewer transactions, property transactions, actually take place. So the lenders already know that they're going to be fighting for less business next year, and that's what's going to, I think, lead to this greater competition and hopefully a further decrease in the average price of a mortgage. Now, if that does happen, this could have the knock-on effect that actually causes a bit of a stabilization in the market, similar to what Nationwide was saying in their report. And that means that actually next year, we're not going to have this crash that a lot of people were predicting a few months ago. A lot of it will definitely come down to a couple of things. Firstly, as I said, this competition. And secondly, when the base rate starts to come down. We've seen that the inflation rate in the UK has actually come down quite considerably over the last couple of months, which has been a good thing. And that's meant that we haven't seen further increases in the base rate. But Andrew Bailey, the Bank of England governor, has said recently that they expect the base rate to stay the same for quite some time, but not necessarily for the whole of 2024. So if we see some competition in rates at the beginning of the year, and then halfway through the year, say May, June or July, we start seeing maybe a decrease in the base rate, that's going to further have a knock-on effect to the average price of a mortgage, which should maybe bring a few more buyers back into the market and could see an increase in transaction numbers towards the end of this year, which could mean that although we see a decrease in the first half, we see a petering out in the second half, which means that the overall drop isn't as significant as we first thought. Now, of course, if you already own a property, this is going to be good news for you. Lots of people that were going to be refinancing next year, whether you're an investor or a homeowner, they were concerned that the price of the property might have gone down, which means that the loan to value might have gone up, and that might have put them into a different category and cost them a lot more than they were expecting. With prices stabilizing, hopefully that won't happen. However, if you're looking to purchase a property next year, this might not be the best news for you. If you are hoping for a crash and then to hopefully buy cheap in 2024, we might already be getting towards the bottom of the market. But that does mean that probably in the first quarter, second quarter of next year, that is the time to buy if you're looking to do so. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Very, very interested to hear what your opinions are. Are we going to see a big crash in the property market next year? Are we going to see the 2 to 4% decrease in the price of a property that Halifax and Nationwide are predicting? Or do you think something different? Are prices going to go up? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, stick around because YouTube is about to use its algorithm to recommend another one of my videos that they think that you'll like. Click on that and I'll see you over there.